And I mean, it's a great opportunity, for artists to be able to do books. And that's not, those aren't really the ones I'm kind of like curious about. Um, I like it when it's a different cover, a different artist, a different take on something like that. That I think is pretty cool. But when it's just the same damn cover and all you did was change the colors on it, I definitely think that that's not much room there to be creative. But I mean, I can't blame whoever's doing it because people are buying the hell out of it. Um, so you definitely can't blame them. But I mean, what do we do about it though? I mean, is it something where you just don't worry about it and just kind of, I mean, well, there's nothing we can do about it. What's up, Mr. Brandon? I mean, obviously, there's nothing we can do about it. But, um, I mean, at some point, I mean, don't we have to kind of stop buying into the nonsense? But I mean, sadly, that's going to be a hard one to do because not only do you have collectors that are chasing it, which is causing the pre-sellers and stuff to chase after it also. I mean, I definitely don't mind variants when it's actually different because I do like to see other people's takes on something. That's always interesting to see. So I've got the next guest lined up for next Thursday. It's going to be Chris Hayes, and I got to work on the little promo thing in the morning. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really does. I mean, the majority of people aren't even collecting anymore. They're just buying these books so they can turn around and flip them themselves. Um, yeah, I think the comic market is really screwed up right now. I definitely believe that. I think with the amount of variance, I mean, come on, dude. I mean, all right, look, I'm gonna tell you guys. I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. These variants and shit that people doing cost a couple bucks to have made, just so you guys have an idea. A couple dollars, um, as far as the book being printed. Um, so when you're spending a couple bucks for a book to be printed, and then you're selling said book for $30 for a damn trade dress and $40 or $50 for a virgin, man, you're killing it, man. You're just absolutely killing that. So I mean, and it wouldn't be so bad if the books held value, but they don't at all. That's one of those things that's really hurt. Is I mean, we talked about this before. You can actually count on one hand the amount of books that's come out in the last 3 years that has held some value, and the rest have just plummeted. So I mean, what do you do? Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about that because there were shitloads of people who got stimulus checks that didn't need them. Um, I mean, because I'm sorry, I don't give a shit how your life is going. If you're using your stimulus money to buy comic books, you didn't need that stimulus money to begin with. I'm just going to put that out there and be blunt and honest with you. You didn't need it. Um, but yeah, I think that added to some of it. People had a shitload of extra money to blow, as silly as that might sound. I mean, I know that definitely sounds weird, but and and again, I don't want to see necessarily variants go away again because I think it is a great opportunity for artists, like myself and many others that don't work for any of the big three. It's a chance for us to get to do covers that we might not normally get to do. So I don't want them to go away. I don't think that would solve the problem. I think it's just, at what point do we call this shit ridiculous when it's $30 for a damn trade dress? I mean, come on. Yeah, I mean that's the only real advantage that you're kind of having right now, is because the print runs aren't in the, necessarily the tens of thousands. Um, you know, it's just more along the lines of you know uh, two, 3,000, give or take. Most of them's in the few hundred, but then you got a few that's in the 3,000 range, etc. So it's not, luckily that's not too bad. Yeah, that's really the only advantage you got is just because of that. Like I said, it's not, I'm not trying to bash variants. I do believe there's a market for them, and I do believe it's a fun market. It's just the oversaturation of the same old, and even if it wasn't that, I think the other major problem, in my opinion, it's the blatant, charging $30 for a damn $2 variant. You know what I'm saying? That's just a bit ridiculous. I mean, like a couple years ago, it started out pretty fair. Um, trade dresses were $15. Um, virgins were 20, 25 in most cases, and now they're hell, now we're seeing $30 trade dress or $30 minimal trade dress. I mean, it's freaking ridiculous. I mean, that's the part, in my opinion, that's really out of hand. But people are still gobbling the shit up. And man, I can tell when these some of these pre-sale groups doing some of these exclusives don't sell out with their bot programs right away, because god dog, my email blows up like every damn day. So and so, still a few copies left, still a few copies left. my shit just blows up. Like I can tell the days they use their bot programs and the days they don't. The days they use them, I'll get one email and that's it. And then, no more. And then every other time I'm getting the, constant reminder that there's some left. I think that's the biggest thing for me is just the blatant increase recently on the prices. Because I know it's straight up bullshit. Same concept books, 6 months ago were nowhere near that price. Hey, what's up, Ryan? Yeah, I mean they're down. We know when the market's being bullshitted. Like I said, when we can tell when certain people are using bot programs to buy up all their stock and then relist it on their Facebook pages, well, on their alternate Facebook pages. Like I said, we can tell when it happens. It's pretty obvious, but I don't know. I mean, at some point, we as the consumers, we have to go. Okay, wait a minute. This is ridiculous. I'm done paying, $30 for trade dress, and then 6 months from now, they're $10 buy it nows. And y'all, and some of y'all might call that crazy that I'm saying that, but it's not hearsay drama shit. It's not the end is near talk. I mean, the market has literally proven it to us time and time again for 3 years in a row. It's not some bullshit, fantasy. And we just still eating it up. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to necessarily think or what to do. Like, how do we fix that? Because, I mean, eventually people are going to lose a lot of money doing this. I mean, because, well, I guess they're not going to lose money as long as they don't try to sit on the books. Because if you try to sit on them, you're going to lose your ass. Really the only hope you got is as soon as you buy them, you need to flip them right then. I mean, as long as you're doing that, you're making money. But yeah, if you think you're like loading up some long box that you'll be able to milk for hundreds and hundreds of dollars later on, you're going to get a rude ass awakening. Man, I really need to go read this storyline. I still haven't read it. You guys hear me okay? Nothing sound weird or anything? Man, dude, I'm so damn ready for the Snyder Cut. I'm excited to see what he's done with the Joker. He did that little teaser photo on his Instagram that looks freaking badass. I mean, you can't really see anything, but it still looks badass. Super excited. All right, awesome. I watched Avengers Endgame today while working on some commissions. That movie is such a good movie. Can't wait for all the Phase 4 movies to really start. Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, that's a good deal because the Copic 72 marker is like $400. So that's a really good deal. I definitely think you got a good deal for that. Yeah, I think you got a good deal. Hey, what's up, David? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yay, it sounds like a whole bunch of loud ass people next door. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's is going to be one of those things where I think a lot of people are just going to end up with books that are worthless in their collections. Um, but I mean, but it's also one of those things, if you're collecting because you're just wanting to collect and you're wanting to have fun, then it doesn't matter. Um, it really doesn't. I see these like I definitely think it's silly to bitch about variants because all you got to do is just not buy it, and that's what I do. I don't buy every damn one. But I am, I do like to kind of talk about it and get people's feedbacks and what they think and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't understand people getting pissed because I mean, in the end, it doesn't affect you per se. Unless you're buying into the hype and then losing money. I mean, I totally can get that. Yeah, I've seen people making posts today, like straight up like pissed off, and I'm like, what the? I mean, I'm not getting mad over some damn comic books. It's not happening. I can just choose not to buy that damn, third, fourth, fifth, sixth print, because it doesn't matter how many of those bastards they print, it still doesn't change what my first print is. You know what I mean? So I really, that's the part I really don't get is I don't get the pissed off, hate that some people are showing. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with people today. They really have a problem with people collecting the way they want to collect. People want to bitch about what people are charging for their stuff, and I'm like, hey asshole, that's their shit. They can sell it for whatever the hell they want. They can, put $1 million price tag on it if they want. It doesn't mean they're going to get it, but it's still their stuff. It's definitely a weird system we're in now. People bitching about variants in the sense of actually being legit pissed, and then you know and going and making posts about it, like pissed off, and I'm just like, what? That really upsets you that much? Well, see, that's what we're talking about. Like the only problem I have with them, I mean, even though I can play devil's advocate and I can say that it's being overdone, I like variants when it's different artists. Now, if it's just like that one book that just came out where you know, ooh, all they did was change the damn color of it. That's a bit weird to me. But I can't blame them. It's selling. People are buying it like crazy. So, you know, you can't get mad at people for doing what, you know, um, what's selling. I mean, you really can't. That's, you know, that's just silly. If you don't like it, don't buy it. But I mean, I may not agree with it, but I'm damn sure not going to get mad about it. I was looking at some of these posts today, and I'm like, holy Jesus, you dudes are suffering from some serious little dick syndrome. Because if you're getting mad about what somebody is selling their shit for on the internet, or you're getting mad about what variant is coming out, you really need to reevaluate your damn priorities in life. I'm sorry. And I'm sure that's probably going to piss some people off, but I mean, dude, Jesus. I mean, these people were straight up making pissed off posts. Now, I don't pay Pops any attention. I've never cared for Pops. It's just not my thing. Like, I'm a big statue person, dude. I've got a shitload of statues in my office, probably more than I want to admit. Um, and so I'm big on, you know, things in that nature of you know, collectibles of that sense. But I've never been into Pops. They're just too cartoony for me. And I tend to be more of a heavy detail person, hence the way I draw and the artists that I follow. So for me, I love statues, but it's got to be those like high detail things. So like Pops never fit into that. So yeah, it's never really been my thing. I mean, I'm sure they got some cool ones, but I'm the same way, even with like my animated movies and cartoons and stuff. I grew up like on He-Man and GI Joe and stuff like that. So like, I don't even care for like anime and stuff. It's too, I mean, even though it's all cartoons, it's just not detailed enough for me. So it kind of falls into all that kind of craziness. It's never been my thing, really. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a buddy of mine, he's a big like Dragon Ball Z fan, man. He loved those movies and stuff and the cartoons that came on TV. And man, I could not get into that shit. Could not. Not even a little bit. I mean, I couldn't even get, even though I was a huge Transformers and He-Man and G.I. Joe fan growing up in the 80s, I couldn't even, when they changed that shit over to anime-ish style, I couldn't get into that either. Like I quit watching that shit. I just couldn't do it. He's a big Dragon Ball fan, and I just can't get into that either. Of course, my first exposure to like Dragon Ball Z was the cartoon, or the weekly or whatever cartoon. And when they start throwing a punch on Monday and that punch hasn't landed by Friday, dude, I'm done. That's some special stupid shit in my opinion. I can't do it. I can't do it. Now I've heard the movies are a little better about keeping shit moving. Of according to my buddy, he says the movies are a little better. They kind of keep the storyline moving along, but I just can't. I can't do it. But to each their own. It's just not for me. Hey, what's up, Robert? Oh yeah, dude, man. I mean, again, big 80s fan, man. I'm a big 80s fan, period. It was my favorite decade for damn sure. Growing up in it, that's where all of my childhood was. I was born in '75, so the '80s was damn sure my childhood. So growing up on '80s movies, whether they're because there were so many. Like if you get on a Fire Stick, like Cody or something like that, a jailbroke Fire Stick, and you look up '80s decade on their little app thing, there are so many movies, and I mean great movies across the board, from romantic comedies to dramas to horror to action, to all of it. I mean, every single category for the '80s had so many great movies. It was ridiculous. So yeah, I'm a massive '80s fan. The best cartoons, in my opinion, happened in the '80s. G.I. Joe, Transformers, Silverhawks, uh, Mask, um, and many others, man. Many others. So freaking many. So freaking many, man. Thank you. Yeah, I can't. And I hate that. I'm sure that it's a good thing. It's got too many fans for it to not be good in some form. But I just can't do it, man. I can't. I can't do that damn 5 episode shit to throw one punch. Just can't do it. I need my shit to move along at a little bit faster pace. I swapped out this desk today. This is one of the desks I had in my office. It's a much bigger desk than the one I was using here in the living room area. So I swapped it out, and so now I've got a lot more space on here to work and keep my tools to the side without it getting in my way, and I can flip this big ass clipboard around when I'm working on 11 by 17s. Let's see. I believe he's got black hair, I think. So how do I want to do his hair? Maybe like, we'll just go ahead and color all that in because do I want to do that? Or do I just want to black it out and just put a little bit of highlight lines in there? You know what? We're going to black it out. I don't want that reflection. I want it to just be like light is completely lost on him there. Yeah, like that. That's what I want. Because I think those little feather things on him, I think they're white, I believe. Yeah, I like that much better. Voltron, yep, that was a great one. Yeah, that's like the only one that I could kind of get into a little bit. That wasn't like American style art. Oh, let's see. Thicken that up just a little bit. Widen that over a little bit more. Also, there we go. It's a little better. Yeah, I like that much better. Yep, like that much better. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I've probably missed a lot of really good shows because of me being a little closed minded on the art. Um, I just can't go do it. I mean, I'm sure I've probably missed several good shows if I could just ignore the artwork. But it's just hard, man. When you grow up, I mean, you got to realize everything around me growing up was heavy detail. The comic art, the comics I read were, that was, Uncanny X-Men, through the 80s. So it was all heavy detail artists. Um, um, and then it got even more detailed, when Jim Lee came into the mix and Todd McFarlane and things like that. So, and like I said, Saturday morning after Saturday morning, oh shit, and then after school was all He-Man and GI Joe and Transformers, um, you know, for the '80s stuff. So it's hard to start watching that other stuff when you're so used to that. Well, my Robin King's definitely got like this Jesus vibe going. Yeah, no, I definitely like the Spawn animated, but that's a that's another example of a heavy detail animation. Oh yeah, dude, that '90s X-Men cartoon was really good. They did very good, and dude, the '90s Batman animated show was extremely well done too. I mean, hell, it set the standard for pretty much every damn thing out there. What time is it? What time is it? Okay, so we got about 10 minutes left, and then we're gonna call the hour. Um, yeah, the Batman animated was incredibly well done. All right, so we want to do something like that, so like this weird kind of slant cloud thing going on. Okay. A little bit of shadow, under those things. Ah, cool. Yeah, sadly, I quit watching that show too. I can't do it anymore. And I really liked that show when it first started. I don't know what it is about those shows, man. Once, in my opinion, once you add too many people, it just becomes weird. It doesn't flow right anymore. And again, that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, sadly, I couldn't do it anymore after that shit. But hopefully, maybe it'll pick up. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, tons of people still enjoy it, so that's a good thing. Just not for me anymore. What am I looking for? Oh yeah. Yeah, the Superman and Lois. Now, I'm definitely going to watch that and see how that goes. I will definitely watch that. Yeah, I will definitely watch that one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I figured Walker would definitely get some traction. A lot of people really like him. And there's a rumor going around that they're trying to work some way to get um, what's his name into the show for a cameo or something. Uh, shit, Jensen Ackles. So, and of course, Jensen's going to be on the next season of The Boys, so that should be interesting. That'll be kind of odd seeing him playing a much more rated R-ish characters. Um, that'll be interesting to see. Which I haven't watched Walker yet, so I'm not sure like what's going on with that show. But all right, so let's see. There we go. A little bit of lightning action. Yeah, boy. Yeah, I'm excited for them too, and I definitely hope, even though it's not necessarily my flavor, I definitely hope, you know, Jared does well with Walker. I really do need to go watch it and show support. You know, like I said, I've followed, I followed Supernaturals from day one. I've probably watched all 15 seasons at least 3 times, if not. I mean, I'm sure I've watched seasons 1 through 10 probably 5 or 6 times, because I don't know how many times I've sat here working on art and I would put it on Supernaturals like on Netflix and just let it play. So it's it really was a great show, especially for someone. Now, do I think it got, again, like a lot of these shows do, do I think it got a little overpopulated with too many characters? Yes. Do I think it got a little carried away with the whole God stuff and angels? Yes. But that's mainly, that's because me, at the core of who I am, I'm a huge horror fan. So those first handful of seasons where they just went on, hunts to fight monsters, that's what I really loved. I love the monster stuff. I love the ghost stories. That's what I really loved. But overall, the show was incredibly good, and it wasn't just that. It was also how those two guys, and of course the rest of the cast, handle fans at cons and stuff like that. I mean, they have their own convention, the Supernatural Con or whatever it's called. But I've watched so many videos on YouTube, where they're at these events and how they interacted with their fans and stuff. And you could tell that they truly loved their fans. It wasn't, oh, look, I'm being paid to be at another con to sign some autographs. Hi, how are you? Move along. Hi, how are you? Move along. It wasn't like that. Like, they would sit there and chat and talk, and then they would have the Q&As and stuff. They would get out there and do these little concerts and sing and stuff for the people that were at these cons. And so, that's what, in my opinion, makes them definitely a rare breed in Hollywood. And I think that's why the show was so successful for as long as it was. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind, if they had not chose to call it quits and end on a high note, I think that show could have went for another 5 years easily. I think they could have got probably a world record or something out of that show if they would have went on, because the fans are so damn loyal to it, and rightfully so. Again, because of how they treated their fans at cons and stuff like that. So I would have loved to have seen it go farther, but I definitely love how they ended it. I thought it was beautiful. They gave Dean the ending that he would have wanted, and that's going out in a blaze of glory kind of fight thing. And then, of course, they let Sam go out the way he went out, with getting to grow old with a family. And I'm sorry, guys, if you haven't seen the show by now, you're way past spoiler time, so I'm not worried about it. You should have watched the shit by now if you were worried about spoilers. So, but anyway. But I really did love that the fact that they went back to old school for the last episode. They went back to just a traditional classic monster hunt. That was really cool to see. But I think they did beautiful. I think they did a beautiful wrap for that show. And the great thing about it is there's always a chance something else could be done with it. Just because the show ended doesn't mean there can't be a one-off or a movie or something like that, a Netflix movie or an actual movie. I'm pretty sure there will be one. It would blow my mind if they never did a one-off, because they could do a one-off going back telling a classic story that they haven't told. You know, in the sense of not, ooh, they're back from the dead, but like a memory. You know what I'm saying? Like a memory story or something. Um, that would be pretty cool to see. So I mean, there's still the potential that you know something else could be done, and it will be really cool. It'll be really cool to see Jensen, you know, be on Walker. That would be really interesting to see. Um, it would have been awesome if there was some way they could have left it open to where, oh my God, could you imagine if Jensen would have been able to show up as Dean on Walker? You know, because like in the episode, the last phone call was coming from Austin, Texas, which is, of course, Dean's hometown. But you know, Walker, I believe, is shot in or around Austin, Texas, I think. So that would have been, you know, that would have been kind of cool and interesting to see them two working a case. You know, that would have been pretty cool. But anyway, guys, I'm going to get off here, chill and watch some TV. I just wanted to do a new video to kind of put something up to where I was working on some art. Um, Oh, that'd be pretty cool too. I mean, a lot of these shows do this, man. They go on to something else and they'll bring in their, you know, their family from these other shows that they've done. You know, they'll bring them in to do cameos and stuff like that. So it'll be pretty interesting to see for sure. But anyway, that's it for the angry hour tonight. Like I said, just wanted to talk about variants a little bit, kind of get a little feedback from some of you guys, and just kind of lay some ink on this Robin King piece. So I'm going to get this ended and get it sent over to YouTube so I can start adding more content to YouTube. Again, if you haven't shared, I mean, haven't subscribed and liked my YouTube channel, please go over and do it. The link is on my page. You shouldn't have an issue finding it. But you guys have a wonderful night, and thank you so much for hanging out and watching with me. Take care, guys.